So, all right, this is me. I'm like the conspiracy theorist
Oh,
of
here we go.
MCU stuff. What I would like to think, which I think would be really neat, is that he was saying that she came here because we're all mutants. I just ordered something. Let me hold off.
The 8200.
Wait, what? Wait, what?
Oh, he bought a he couldn't buy the comic books because he bought another light.
Yeah, camera equipment.
Hey, if that's the hustle to keep it going, that's fine.
Yeah, well, now I got to make that money back.
I feel you. Now that I'm a Twitch affiliate, I'm on my grind even harder.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Very good.
Made it last Tuesday. I was just like, this can't be happening.
Look, you got to teach me. You got to teach me the ways,
bro. I am stumbling through this thing like a virgin at a bikini factory. I'm just trying to figure this out.
I know. I didn't get that.
What kind of Southern reference is that?
Ain't no Southern nothing is mine except it.
Oh shit! All right, let's get this show on the road. All right. Well, hey everybody, this is Sam. We got Rio, and we have a guest, Montel, and this is another episode of Everybody Gets One. First of all, let me make sure we're recording. Yeah, we're recording. All right. WandaVision, episode number 4. I don't know, man. We saw the MCU give a reference to the blip. And we saw the other side of what was going on behind the scenes. The first 3 episodes, we saw the perspective of the sitcom world. Mm-hmm. Now we went through what the 60s, the 70s, and the 80s.
No, the 50s.
No,
50s,
yeah.
50s,
60s,
60s,
70s.
The 70s. All right,
no 80s yet.
Right. So last episode was like the 70s.
They're
and
not ready for it.
So now we have we left off with Monica Rambeau getting pushed out of the sitcom world and back into, I guess, the main reality. MCU, the main reality. Things start off with Monica coming back from the blip.
Yeah.
And if everybody remember what happened, that's when Thanos snapped his fingers and pretty much destroyed half the universe, half the population.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Half of everything. Yep.
Half of everything.
So what I found interesting about that was she got blipped while she was sleeping. So what that means to me is that when people were being blipped, it was sudden and it was painless.
Mm. Right. So, but first you got to put some context into that too. Why was she sleeping? Like, where was she?
She was at the hospital.
All right, and
with her mom at her mom's bedside, who was a cancer patient.
Right, and her mom, Maria.
Yep.
Maria
Rambeau,
aka Photon.
Like-minded people, yeah.
So Monica Rambeau was gone for 3 years. Not 3 years, 5 years, because the blip happened for 5 years. And her mom, she was a cancer patient. The cancer came back. She survived for another 2 years right after Monica blipped out. Mm-hmm. So all Monica could really think about was her mom. She didn't see her mom next to her. And we're in the hospital right now, and everybody's just blipping left and right. All the people that blipped from the hospital just came back, and chaos ensues, and everybody's running around like, hey, Monica's asking, hey, where's the patient in room so-and-so? And nobody can answer her question. And then she finally meets the doctor that was, I guess, taking care of her mom or knew what happened to her mom. Mm-hmm. And she basically gave her the whole story. Like, you were gone for 5 years. And even after you're gone, your mom, the cancer came back. And it's been 3 years since she died.
Right. Yeah. And the thing that was so interesting about that scene was, especially for that to be the opening scene to the episode, was how lightly relevant it was to what's going on in the real world.
Right.
With over capacity hospitals, the panic, people trying to make places for these people who are now coming back that weren't there before. It's I mean, if you really honestly, you can kind of look at coronavirus as a blip, because I mean, look at how it's taking the population, you know, how it's just kind of chipping away at our current population and you know, people, and even if they're making it through, it's leaving something on them that they're gonna have to carry with them.
Right.
And
Right.
it's weird. The MCU imitates life. So
Right. And the thing is, like, you're waking up in a hospital and time just went by, and you know, your daughters, your sons, fathers and mothers, like, they've grown up, they've died, they your loved ones, if you're husband and wife, assuming that your husband or wife suddenly disappears, and all of a sudden you kind of have to, either you want to move on or you don't want to move on. And you find out that your husband or wife there's somebody else inside your house.
So with that, it also
Right.
means that there's a level of grief that has to be experienced, especially if they were there before it and they're gone afterwards. You know, what Monica is experiencing now is, I couldn't even imagine how that must be, just to know that you disappeared and come back and that loved one has been gone for years, not months, not days, years. I mean, come on. So, you know, she was dealing with that trauma hard.
But at the same time, we didn't really get to see her like grieve like that. And then they pretty much cut to a scene where she basically goes back to Sword, like she just going back to work after going on vacation.
Right.
Her badge didn't read correctly, and so, you know, she was like, the security guy was like, "Miss, what's going on here?" And I guess he figured out, hey, that she was part of the people that kind of blipped out. And she was meeting with the acting director of Sword, right?
Yes.
I forgot his name. It was the Colonel, Captain. What is his name?
Director Haywood.
Yes.
Yeah. Right. So, and I also come to find out that I guess her mom was supposed to be in that position.
Because her mom was one of the people who created.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. So Peggy Carter made Shield and Monica made Sword.
Right. And so in doing so, I guess when her mom died, Monica was supposed to be the replacement, but it went to Director Haywood. Right. And so when Director Haywood and Monica kind of met, they, you know, had a little chit chat. Director Haywood said that, hey, look, this is not a position that I wanted to be in. You know, it was not my choice. But then, you know, Monica pretty much said it, but it was kind of built that you were the only choice because I was supposed to be in your position.
Facts.
Right.
Yeah. Facts.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, but I mean, hey, that's, you know, that was
that was fucked up though.
That was that I don't even know how to explain that situation. That was you disappeared. So
you was here and then you was gone. There wasn't no one around, so I had to take it.
Yeah, the person who was like the next in line, like, well, we lost the best, so who's the next best, you know?
I mean, obviously probably wasn't the next best, but I mean, again,
I was gonna say the same thing. It's like, well, there's no one else left, so it's like it's gonna have to be you. Enjoy.
So now Monica has, I don't even know what you would call her now. What, she was a grunt now, or she's an agent.
She's an agent.
Yeah,
she's an agent.
Yeah, field operative.
Yeah, so now she had a high position before. Now she's a field agent. You know, like, you just gotta start 2 ranks below, 3 ranks below. So she meets up with Randall Park, who plays Jimmy Woo. Randall Park is the father from Off the Boat.
Yes.
Yeah,
on ABC.
Fresh off the boat.
And he was Scott Lang's parole officer.
Right.
Man.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, he was. I was just like, well, this was a surprise.
Right. Well, this whole episode they brought back a lot of people. One person in particular, Kat Dennings, who played
Yes.
Darcy Lewis.
Yes.
From the Thor movies.
Yeah.
Right.
I swear, I got such a kick out of her in the movies. I swear, her character was, she was definitely needed with everything going on. It's like,
Right.
all right, Darcy, let's go.
But
Yeah.
this was a come up though, because the last couple Thor movies, she was basically an assistant. Now she's in a totally different league of her own. Like this, she's owning her position. Like she's owning being someone who knows more than anybody else about a particular field. So Monica Rambeau meets up with I guess Inspector Wu, and she drives up to Westview, where everything is happening in the first 3 episodes of WandaVision, and they meet up with the police officers, and Jimmy Woo's like, can you tell Monica Rambeau like exactly what you told me? It's like there's no such thing as Westview. The population of Westview on the sign right next to them says 3,000 some odd numbers, right? 3,000 people. But you telling me there's no such thing as Westview. And then Jimmy Woo was like, so where are you from? And the cop says, I'm from Eastview. So something's not right. Like clearly,
Yeah.
something's clearly not right.
Yeah, that was super weird. I actually was really confused by that scene. I mean, I get it. I just don't think that it was executed very well. Because it almost felt like the cops were coming off more sarcastic, like they knew that they were giving the wrong information, but they were just being cocky about it.
Yeah.
Instead of them like being confused and actually believing what they were saying.
Their whole attitude is like, you're not wanted here.
Yeah. Which I maybe they'll explain that later on down the line. I didn't understand it quite. I got it, but I didn't get it.
Yeah, I mean, we'll talk more about that later on in this episode, like theories and stuff. But if you guys remember, Monica Rambeau goes into the trunk of the car and it gets a helicopter to basically monitor the situations to go into the town of Westview, which looks pretty much deserted. And pretty much it disappears. And they're like, yo, what the hell's going on? And this is how Monica Rambeau ends up inside the sitcom town of Westview. She goes up into the force field and she gets sucked in. And so now she's part of the cast of the sitcom.
Right.
Yeah. And later on, you see that same helicopter pop back up. That was the only colorized object inside WandaVision.
Right.
But now it has a totally different look now. It has a retro helicopter look.
Yeah. Whatever field is being produced is going to change it according to the time period that everybody is in.
Right. And we also get a glimpse of what the force field actually looks like. It's a hexagon.
Yes. Which is kind of a play on hex powers.
Yeah. I thought about that as soon as you said. I went, come on, guys, y'all are really throwing this on thick.
That actually makes sense.
Yeah,
that actually makes sense.
I mean, it was clever, quotations, but like you're saying, like you said, Montel, you're throwing it on thick. It's like, okay, let's keep it moving. All right, yeah,
right.
The play on words, they were trying so hard just to make the Easter eggs feel like ostrich eggs. It's like, bro, let's keep going. Let's go.
Right. So now Kat Dennings is pretty much like trying to figure out what's going on. She noticed that there were radio waves being an underlying signal from her device that she was monitoring the wavelengths,
Mhm.
right? So now she pretty much kind of tunes into the frequency and she sees the whole sitcom world. And that's when they realize that, hey, you have two Avengers inside the sitcom world. And so they're pretty much watching the episodes exactly how we're watching the episodes. But there's a little thing that now makes sense, right? So the voices that we heard on the radio was from Jimmy Woo.
Mm.
He was saying, Wanda, can you hear me? Like, who's doing this to you, Wanda? I think that was like episode
That was
That
2.
was two,
It was
yeah.
episode 2. Yeah.
Right, episode 2. And it's very, that shit was kind of confusing. Like that whole episode where it's like, okay, when you think something's about to make sense, and then all of a sudden it just reverts back, like there was a glitch, and then it just fixes itself.
It does, but it doesn't. And
Yeah.
then, yeah.
And sooner or later, we come to find out that it's purely Wanda that's doing all this shit,
Mhm.
Right.
right?
Well, also, I want to say it was also episode 2 was the beekeeper, right?
Right.
Was that episode 2?
No.
Or
no,
was
no,
it
no,
episode
no.
1?
I think that was episode 1. That was episode 1.
I
Because
believe
you
it
said
yeah, it
no,
was
and
episode 1. Yeah, there was it a hazmat suit?
It was a hazmat suit, right? But when he came out the sewer, it turned out to be a beekeeper suit.
right. Which was kind of a missed opportunity, in my opinion, because beekeepers are like in the comics are like AIM agents. They call them beekeepers or whatever because of the way their suits looked.
Yeah, their helmets. Yeah.
Yeah, and for him to be a sword agent instead of an AIM agent was kind of I assumed that there was going to be like a rivalry between sword and AIM trying to get in to find out what the deal was and kind of basically take Wanda.
Mm-hmm.
And then AIM would probably want to use her as a weapon or whatever, and then sword would just want to kind of try and contain her and figure out like what's going on with her since she's an Avenger, so on and so forth. But
right. So
yeah,
I mean, you touched on the part how, okay, I said how the force field was in the shape of a hexagon, and you said that, okay, maybe that represents Wanda's powers of being hex powers.
Mm-hmm.
And now we get to the part about the beekeeper, but like a bee's beehive is pretty much hexagon shapes.
Oh,
So
that's true.
yeah.
So maybe he's one of the bees. Maybe he's not one of the bees now. You got all these people who are pretty much worker bees, and Wanda is the queen bee. Right? If anything happens, she just pretty much
That's a
fixes
good point. That's a good point.
Nice.
Right.
Yeah.
So now you have this outsider, Monica Rambeau. She's an outsider, and then everybody's like, they're trying to figure out who she is, what's going on. And I don't know if you remember episode 3, where it was Agnes and Herb talking about Geraldine, played by Monica Rambeau. It's like, hey, did Geraldine go inside the house? But she never came back out. So you got all these, you got them trying to figure out, okay, what's going on, what's happening, and Herb tries to tell Vision that, yeah, Geraldine, like, she doesn't really belong here.
Right. Well, what they said is Geraldine doesn't live here.
Right. Agnes pointed out that she doesn't have a house.
Yes. So like, where is she going when she leaves?
Exactly.
We don't know. That was kind of like their thing. I still feel like Herb was trying to say something else though.
He was
because the way that he worded it, he said, how exactly did they say? Because they do a recap in the beginning of every episode. I can't remember specifically what it was. It was like where or it was weird. It came off weird, but I was like, oh, that has like a double meaning. Maybe it'll come into play later.
Everything's pretty much coming to play later on. So now you got Wanda confronting. You got Geraldine confronting Wanda, and this is pretty much where she gets pushed out. Like we see exactly what's going on from Geraldine's point of view, and she mentions Ultron, which is a big fat no. That
No,
threw off
no.
that threw off the whole feeling of the show when Wanda pretty much. It seems like Wanda is the villain here, but she's not. Like you also see that she's kind of suffering too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's still
Like
grieving.
she's still grieving. She's putting herself in this hexagon shaped bubble in a reality that she can control, because before out here in the real world she couldn't really control anything, right? She couldn't control how Vision died.
Mhm.
She couldn't control the Avengers' fates. Like she
She-
wants to be in a position where she can control everything and feel safe.
Yeah, and I feel like that's exactly what she did, because when she lost Vision, he was her foundation. He was the one actually keeping her grounded a lot of the time. So when he ended up getting killed and her mind was going elsewhere, what we want to do is we always want to go somewhere that we feel safe, even if we manufacture it. And that's exactly what she did. I believe she created this sitcom
Mhm.
just so that she can deal with the loss with him there and everything. But my gosh, the a sitcom, really?
Well, so what I've heard, the meaning behind the sitcom is why because she's what, Wanda's probably like in her 30s or something like that.
Mhm.
So her growing up in Sokovia, they had old television shows. So she basically, that was what she knew.
Mhm.
Like for me, it would be like Three's Company, Golden Girls, Family Matters, you know, I mean, like shows
Yeah.
like that,
Shit, you're
like
old,
late
man.
80s, early 90s type
I'm
stuff.
glad I ain't glad I ain't mentioned any names. You probably call me ancient. I'm sitting there talking about Rockford Files and All in the Family and the Jeffersons and Alice.
Right. Yeah.
Mr. Belvedere.
What's
all that.
happening, and
Yeah. So,
Different
Sokovia
strokes.
is like a European, I want to assume. So, they still like watch Baywatch and stuff like that over there. So,
So
for
that's how
her,
David Hasselhoff is so fucking famous right
yeah,
now.
because they're like, we like the David Hasselhoff, yeah.
right.
Let the run across my TV, yeah.
Yeah, and that was probably what her parents were watching. So she was watching it, coming up. And those were like fond memories for her. So that was the kind of what is it? Atypical or just dreamy world that was like safe, where everybody's nice and it's like, super acting and American, maybe. I don't know. Like, I'm just,
Right.
kind of spitballing.
So here's what you touched on about Herb. When Vision asked Herb what's going on, he says she came here because we're all, and that was it.
Yes. So, all right, this is me. I'm like the conspiracy theorist of
Here we
MCU
go.
stuff. What I would like to think, which I think would be really neat, is that he was saying that she came here because we're all mutants.
That's what you think, but I mean, earlier in the series, they kind of also explained that the cast of these sitcoms are basically the people from Westview.
Yes.
All the people that lives in Westview are the cast of this sitcom world.
Yes.
Because they were watching the show, and you had, what's her name, Kat Dennings and Randall Park, Jimmy Woo, IDing all these people in the show, and that's how they also identified Geraldine, because again they were watching the first 3 episodes just like us, trying to figure out what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
Right.
And they looked up the background on each person who was cast in it.
Right. Which, I mean, I don't know. Do you think that releasing episode 4 the way that it is, like, it was too soon, or or was it
No.
like they gave us too much information too fast? Because they pretty
Now,
much just threw everything right in your face in episode 4.
yeah.
Well,
I
it's a
think there's
shock
still a lot
value,
more.
you know?
Yeah. And I
think
think there's more.
Yeah, I agree. Because they want to throw the shock value. They want to throw that cold water on you so you can start picking up on every little thing that you may have missed in the past 3. Because the people I've talked to that have watched this episode, and I don't agree with them, mind you. They're just like, I don't know where it was going. It was so slow. I mean, what was the purpose of it? There is a purpose for this show. And episode 4 said, wake your ass up. This is what's going on. Because we're taking a central character and we're putting them outside. Now we're going to see how it's really going to flow.
All right. Did you guys notice how the TV went from 4:3 to 16:9?
Yeah.
In multiple. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, we're in a sitcom world, right? All right. We're about to get real for a second. Go right to 16:9.
Yep.
And then when Wanda pushes her out, and it's just like, you know what? This is my world. I'm gonna take care of this. I'm gonna control the situation. She went back to 4:3. And you also got a glimpse of Vision, what Vision actually looks like when he got killed by
Yes.
Ultron, right?
Yeah.
It was a split second,
Yep.
and that's how we find out that Wanda is. I mean, we already knew, but we didn't know to what extent. If she knew exactly what she was doing, or what was she doing this unconsciously? You know, we find out that she's really trying to control this space because she feels real safe here, and all the outsiders need to be pushed out. And you just saw how evil this woman can be. Like, you do not want to cross Wanda at all. You do not.
No. Yeah, so she's reanimating a corpse, essentially. Like a empty,
it was a husk.
Yeah, husk of an android. Which that scene was creepy as hell. That was kind of jarring.
There were so many Easter eggs in this.
I know. They also pointed out, Kat Dennings' character pointed out that hey, isn't this guy dead?
Yeah. Yep. So and I'm what I'm wondering is so SWORD. Do you remember what the abbreviation for SWORD is? It's like a sentient weapon.
No, Sentient World Observation and Response Department.
That's in the comics,
but it's different now.
In the show, it's weapons. They changed.
Yes,
okay. They changed it.
So that abbreviation literally relates directly to Vision. So I wonder if Vision's body was housed there and she had to retrieve it from there when she blipped back during Endgame to help the fight against Thanos. And then after that was over, she went to SWORD and got his body back.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good theory. And you also point out, I mean, with the whole name change of SWORD, was it I forgot his name, the one that was talking to, they got the position that Monica Rambeau was supposed to have.
Hayward.
And he basically said that, hey, yeah, things have changed because ever since you were gone, we've had to, you know, change a few things around here. Like, we're no longer what is it? We're no longer observing or something like that.
Right, which means that they're creating as well.
Yeah. Oh no, he said they're no longer observing and creating. So now they're actually fighting.
Okay.
Right.
You know, and I thought I was something real quick too. It goes back to what Rio said about AIM. Second episode, there wasn't a commercial for Strucker brand, Strucker watches. And in the comic, Wolfgang von Strucker was a sleeper agent in S.H.I.E.L.D. who was a part of Hydra, who was a part of AIM. And I said there went wait. Oh gosh. Okay. You see where this is going. Where you now there's so many Easter eggs that are being thrown in, and we're seeing it now. The beekeepers what
Was
outfit.
the
Wow.
outfit? Yeah.
Yeah, the beekeeper's uniform. I said there's like, and then when Rio said aim, I said, oh my gosh, the fat kid in my head went, it's aim. Got aim in this show. So I'm excited to see what else is gonna happen.
Yeah. But you know what? In this episode, I kind of missed the commercials.
Man.
I was hoping to see like another commercial just pop up out of nowhere.
Okay.
I'm just so used to seeing like now. I mean, the first 3 episodes you had all these different commercials. You know, you got the Toastmate 4,000, right? And then there was Hydra bath soaps.
They're throwing it in there, man. Come on.
I just wanted more. I was hoping to see something else, but I mean, what now that things are kind of like parallel now, like we know what the other half is going through. Now that Monica Rambeau has been pushed outside of the sitcom world, like I'm just trying to figure out, okay, what exactly is she gonna do now to get back in? Like Geraldine is known to be is known as an outsider now.
Yeah.
So if Monica tries to go back in, like what's going to happen to her?
Well, yeah, that I got nothing. I got no I've got no. Yeah, this is where I run out of conspiracy theories.
I'm not the only one who drew a blank on this one. It just is. I really don't. So is it possible that she does go back in? She will not be Geraldine because Wanda forced her out. So therein, that image could possibly be gone.
I mean, you would think that, but she was like the only black woman in the show. So
yeah,
she's a needle in a haystack, right?
She might be LaTanya gonna come back up in there and say, hi, my name is LaTanya. I just moved here, Westview. How you doing?
Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do next episode. Like, we're just kind of along for the ride at this point because and maybe that was the point, like you said, Sam. They gave us all the answers in episode 4 from the first 3 episodes. So now we're not questioning anything. We're just kind of like, all right, well, I get it. Like, I understand now, but it's time to just watch.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, I don't know. So now, you know, I trying to see which year that sitcoms now became like full screen. Because I think that's pretty much the next thing. Like you have to kind of go by the whole timeline. You know, everything was 4:3.
Yeah.
And then now things are in Technicolor.
Yeah.
And then now we're gonna go back to full screen televisions.
Right. Well, I don't know. They might have an 80s episode and then but I think they're gonna stay in the 70s.
Think so?
Yeah. I can't.
They would have to just go through the whole timeline. Like, I mean, each episode we had a different year. You had the 50s, 60s, and 70s. So now they have to do the 80s.
Yeah.
They have to do the 80s.
You know what? You're right, because the other thing is they have to age up the kids.
Oh, you know what? They could probably do a home improvement sitcom, have her be Wilson, and then the kids just like, I don't know. It's starting to get that way.
Wow. I wouldn't have thought of that. I wouldn't have thought of that.
Yeah, or they might do like a Full House.
Full House,
which I think is probably more likely, right, for the 90s.
You got Roseanne.
Oh, that's right.
Crap.
Oh, you're right.
Oh, goodness.
You're right. They're gonna do Roseanne. I remember.
Oh, wow.
They're gonna do Roseanne. You're right. Yeah. So because they got to age the kids up, because Marvel's essentially setting up a Young Avengers for Disney Plus. So it's going to be Patriot. It's going to be her 2 kids. It's going to be Kate Bishop from the Hawkeye TV show.
Right. And
I think Wiccan and Hulkling if they stay loyal to it.
Right. I think Hulkling will probably show up in the She-Hulk TV show.
Fact. I actually forgot about they were doing that. I forgot about that.
So there you go. That's all of them. Patriot, Wiccan, Hulkling, Kate Bishop. What's the other kid besides Wiccan? Because they're twins. One of them's fast.
Oh, you talking about
Let's see.
The speedster kid.
Speed. They call him his Speed.
Okay.
That's his name.
Yeah.
Speed.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and the
He
only
was
one that would be
not very
missing.
creative with that one.
Yeah, the only one that would be missing is Iron Patriot, which is probably going to be Iron Heart instead, because they're supposed to be doing an Iron Heart TV show for Disney Plus. Oh, and Miss Marvel.
Yeah, Disney has a lot of things coming down.
Yeah, Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel,
yeah.
she's coming, and Iron Patriot should be coming after that.
But don't forget Miss America too, because she's a part of that as well.
Oh, which she's showing up in Doctor Strange too.
About damn time.
Yep.
About time. Let's go.
America Chavez.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So yeah, they've got a full team for Young Avengers.
Yes, please don't screw up the casting. I beg of you, please don't screw up the casting, please.
So
come
far,
on, you know that shit's gonna happen.
Yeah, so far the weakest one looks like, unfortunately, the weakest one looks like Miss Marvel.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Haley Steinfeld is Kate Bishop. She's gonna kill that. Like that's gonna be easy work for her.
Hold on. Haley Steinfeld. Is that the girl that sang that Friday song?
No, she was the main character in Bumblebee.
Oh,
okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so that girl, she's a pop star though. She is like a Disney kid, like singer or whatever.
Forever scarred.
But she's a good actress. She also played Spider-Gwen in Into the Spider-Verse. She was the voice of Spider-Gwen.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. One of my favorite movies.
Really? Oh yeah, Into the Spider-Verse, fantastic.
Mm-hmm. But she's scarred by she has a Disney tattoo somewhere on her back hidden. You know, she's scarred.
Yeah, I know, right?
Forever a Disney kid.
Yo, when did Married with Children come out?
That was 92.
That was
92. Because that was the same year The Simpsons came out.
All right. So if they wanted to do a 90s sitcom.
Oh my gosh.
I think they've picked Roseanne over Married with Children.
Yeah.
Roseanne's the one they're doing. I remember seeing screenshots of them doing like a Roseanne style show. The actors Elizabeth Olsen and Paul Bettany.
Actually, you're right. I see it.
Interesting. We get to relive our past while we're trying to figure out the future. Got it.
Yep.
Actually, hold on. I'm looking at something right now. So the 50s was I Love Lucy. 60s Leave It to Beaver. 70s The Brady Bunch. 80s Family Ties.
I forgot about Family Ties. Yo.
Family Ties.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Michael.
Yeah.
And then so for the 90s, you have Roseanne. Okay.
Yeah.
For the 90s. But then also in the 90s, the late 90s, they're doing Sabrina, the Teenage Witch.
Really?
Well, these are sitcom inspirations, yeah.
Boy,
that's weird. So after the late 90s is when they're gonna end it, because if she had the kids in the 70s and then they tried to bring the kids to modern day, they would be in their 40s. And that would make the kids too old. So they must solve the mystery of whatever she's doing by the time she reaches the late 90s episode.
Well, here we have it. We got 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 90s. That's 6 episodes of them in the sitcom world. So they gotta, and I think it was only 10 episodes.
Yeah. So wait, even still though, if the kids were born in the 70s, by the 90s they would be what?
Well, like I said,
and I guess it all depends on what year in the set. Like if they were born 79 in the 90s, they would be teenagers, late teens though. They'd be like early 20s, late teens, early 20s, something like that.
Yeah, similar to Roseanne's kids. They'll be that age.
Right. So that's when they have to solve it, so that way the kids will fit in that age range of the Young Avengers.
This shit's it's hitting hard, man.
Man, look, we're all putting it together.
The puzzle's getting bigger.
I mean, this whole lineup for Disney Plus is like I wish DC did some shit like this, right? I wish they got their shit together.
DC's not gonna do it. I mean, come on.
They're all over the place.
The CW's DC is canceling Black Lightning. This is their last season.
Dude, that was a pretty good. Listen, Black Lightning started off strong.
It shouldn't be ending. That's my problem. There's still too much to tell. But y'all let Arrow go on for 7,000 seasons.
Oh my gosh, I was waiting for that show to go. Like when they because everything was kind of like flashback, and then you kind of get everything to be parallel. Once it became parallel and there was no more flashbacks, it kind of got dumb after that.
Because they ran out of stuff to use.
Exactly. Like once he got off the island, it was over with. I kind of like seeing like that whole rugged an eye for an eye Oliver Queen. But now when he started dating Felicity, he was like, okay, I won't kill nobody no more.
I'm a kinder, gentler vigilante. I'm not gonna kill you. I'm just gonna bruise you deeply. How about that? I'm gonna bruise you. No.
Yeah.
And then Flash is still going on. Legends of Tomorrow is still going on.
Oh, that show should end. I thought they had like this whole big season finale where they just bringing everybody into the fucking universe, and that was it.
It's still going, which is where my problem runs out, because not only is Black Lightning canceling, but they're starting a spinoff of it for Jordan Holloway's character, Painkiller.
What?
Painkiller is getting a spinoff from the show, and I said, why is he getting a spinoff when
he's not that interesting?
Thank you. My gosh. Fantastic guy. And he's a comic fan. I know that for a fact, without a doubt. But I have reservations about them creating this series because it's still too early for the character. It's still too early, and there's still so much you could tell. There's still characters you could bring in. You can even have cameos. Come on, bro. Seriously, you got a villain that's worth a damn in Tobias Whale. And we still ain't see the extent of what this brother's going to do. Come on.
Tobias Wells was my dude. He reminded me of Cottonmouth, but Cottonmouth got killed off way too soon.
Facts.
Yeah, he
got
did.
killed off way too soon.
Yeah. How do you kill Mahershala Ali?
Oh my god!
And now he's playing Blade.
That's why they killed him off.
What is this?
Yo, they killed him off, right? And then they went to his was it cousin Maria?
Yes.
She was not that interesting either at all. Like I hated her. Like she was kind of wishy-washy.
They're both excellent actors, though. I don't know how Marvel was able to pull both of them into a Netflix TV show. Which, okay, so you know what? Now that you brought me here, I'm about to go off.
Let's go.
How do you take Mahershala Ali playing Cottonmouth, the villain in season 1 of Luke Cage, hire him to play Blade in the MCU, and now there's rumors of I forget what the actor's name is, the guy who plays Charlie Cox, who played Daredevil in Netflix, in Marvel Netflix, put him in Spider-Man 3. Who was the other person? I think Kristen Ritter, who played Jessica Jones. No. John Bernthal. They're talking about bringing John Bernthal back, rebooting him, not using the Netflix origin of the Punisher, but creating an MCU version of the Punisher.
Oh god.
And using that. I mean,
we're gonna redo Frank Castle. We're gonna redo him.
How many times has he been rebooted though? Right?
Yeah.
He's been rebooted so many times.
And it's like
the Batman paradox. How many times can you keep bringing back the same character in different ways?
Yes. So you're going to bring back Daredevil. You're going to bring back Cottonmouth. But Daredevil is staying the same. Cottonmouth is turning into Blade. And then this whole multiverse thing, I want to see how they're going to pull it off and make it make sense to where
You know what? Just
because
do
they're
contest of champions and get everybody in one swing, and someone dies, they die. That's
Wow.
what.
Yes.
Listen, there's only so many ways that your wife and kid can die. I'm talking about Frank Castle. Like, there's only so many ways
Yeah.
that they're gonna die the same way every time, right? And then you're gonna be like Batman getting vengeance on people.
Yeah.
And everybody deserves vengeance. Like,
Oh my
it should be
gosh.
honestly. The Punisher was a damn good series. I liked it.
It was.
It
I
was.
liked
It
it.
was.
Season 2 of Daredevil, I like that too. That whole back and forth with Daredevil and the Punisher,
Yeah.
when they had
Yeah.
kind of like when the Daredevil kind of had like uh, a moment, like, yo, am I actually the same as you? But I'm different. Like, I'm fighting the good fight, but Frank Castle's like, I'm fighting the good fight too, but I'm just doing it in a different way. It's like, no,
Right.
but you're killing people.
Mhm.
Either way, like,
He's doing his thing.
oh my gosh.
He's doing
Yeah, I don't know what the MCU is gonna do with explaining how they're gonna put all this together. Like,
I don't think they even know how they're going to explain
I
it.
like the Netflix shows, and I would have been fine with them being a standalone.
Mhm.
But when you start bringing, like, picking and choosing what Netflix characters you want to bring into the MCU, like, you're gonna bring Daredevil and you're gonna bring Punisher. You're gonna change Punisher's origin. You're not gonna change Daredevil's origin, and you're not bringing Luke Cage back, and you're not bringing Iron Fist back. Those
Lots of cherry
characters are
picking.
done.
Yeah, lots of
Yeah,
cherry
it's
picking.
But
it's
here's the thing, Rio. Like, what differently can you do about Daredevil's origins? I mean, either way, he's gonna have a whole bunch of chemicals in his
right.
eyes.
Yeah.
So how would
Right,
you do
right.
that
I
differently?
mean, how many times can we see his father die as a boxer, and him?
Yeah.
It's the same
getting
thing over and
exposed.
over again. Exactly.
Right.
But I think you in Spider-Man, the newest Spider-Man film that's coming out with Daredevil being in it, it's just a cameo. It's not like he's gonna be a lawyer. He's not gonna be in like Daredevil costume, right?
I'm assuming. I'm not sure how they're gonna play it. But I mean, they're bringing back Dr. Octopus. They're bringing back Jamie Foxx's Electro. They're bringing back Tobey Maguire,
Andrew Garfield.
Tom Hardy, maybe.
Yeah, possibly. I would assume that Tom Hardy's pretty expensive. I don't think he's a cheap actor to hire. With the girl who played Tobey Maguire's Mary Jane.
Kirsten Dunst.
Yes, Kirsten Dunst. Supposedly she's gonna make an appearance.
Mm.
Maybe even Emma Stone. I don't know, who was Gwen Stacy.
I
in
can
the
see Emma
Amazing
Stone,
Spider-Man
yeah,
movies.
but I don't know. Well, hold on. Emma Stone. Oh my gosh, she died.
You know,
she got her neck snapped.
well, they might make her Spider-Gwen. She could be like an aged up Spider-Gwen.
Oh, so somehow we're going to just reset her neck, bring her back to life and put her in a super suit. Pardon my French, get the fuck out of here.
Well, it would just be an alternate universe situation. Here's my other problem with the whole multiverse thing. Like, all right, so obviously Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield look nothing alike, and neither one of them look anything like Tom Holland. So every multiverse, the person who is you isn't gonna look like you.
Right.
Is that what we're saying?
Pretty much.
So when unless they're gonna say that some universes they're not gonna look like you, and in some universes they are. You know what I'm saying? Like,
unless there's gonna be a whole bunch of deep fakes, who knows?
Yeah.
But only time will tell, because
Yeah.
Marvel's still trying to pull their head out of their ass.
Yeah. So I'm just curious to see how they're gonna pull all this off.
You say that, Montel, but we're all in this rabbit hole together. Like, we're trying to figure out what the fuck's going on with WandaVision. We're still going on. So
no comment.
We're all in.
No comment. That's all I got. No comment.
We're all in the same boat until we see Wanda in the whole was it Sabrina the Teenage Witch phase?
I know. What in the world?
This is gonna be fun.
Oh, you know what? Then if that happens, then would Agnes be the aunt, one of the aunts, teaching her magic and shit?
Probably. Because like you said, I think Agnes is Agatha.
Yeah. So then who's gonna play Salem? Her.
The blonde-haired lady.
Which one?
The one who is like being mean to everybody.
No. Because if you remember, I don't know if you watched Sabrina the Teenage Witch. I think there was some girl in high school that was being mean to her. Because remember, they had different groups. You had the popular kids, like in every sitcom, had the popular kids, and you had the nerdy kids. So with that being said, maybe, I don't know. I don't know how they're gonna do this whole thing. Either she's gonna be a teenager or she's gonna be grown up. Because either way, I feel like Vision is gonna be Harvey, Sabrina's boyfriend. Exactly. So, but I mean, we can only speculate what the hell is going to happen with this show, because as of right now, everything's pretty much parallel to each other.
Yeah.
You know. So.
Yep, it's fun. And then we got Falcon and the Winter Soldier coming in March.
Yes.
Oh yeah, we got Disney's version of Lethal Weapon.
Yeah, basically.
Wow.
Yeah, that'll be good.
I'm just waiting for Anthony Mackie to say I'm getting too old for this shit.
Oh my gosh, he probably will.
Who knows? But I don't know, man. I guess that's the end of this episode for sure.
Man.
Yep, I think we touched on plenty and plus some.
Yeah. And you got to hear Rio's rants about Disney.
Yeah, well, I always have one rant an episode.
only one. Wow. Okay.
Somebody will say something to get me fired up.
I'm slacking on my.
Oh yeah. Are you recuperating from Joe abusing you about Spider-Man?
I'm ready for her to come back. I'm gonna find out what she likes, and then I'm gonna be like, I hate whatever that is.
You know what?
Just because
that probably wouldn't phase her, because dude, the emotions on your face when she was fucking around with Spider-Man, everybody could see how hurt you were.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, she said that she doesn't even like Spider-Man. I was like, is that even possible?
It's possible. A lot of people don't like Batman.
Well, yeah, I'm one of them.
So you understand the whole...
Theory proven. And proven, folks.
Right.
Dude, it's good how you just answer your own question, but
yeah, immediately disproved.
Exactly.
What about no. No.
All right. Well, I guess that's it for us. We'll see y'all next time on Everybody Gets One.
Bye everybody.
Take it easy, y'all.